Telangana Open School Society Digital Lessons. You are learning English as the second language. English is the mother tongue of the people of America, Britain, Australia, and other countries. We are not the native speakers of English. Like India, English is teaching as the second language. Learning English as second language has as a special approach to language teaching. TOS has designed the digital lessons to the students for all the subjects. You have face-to-face interactive classes at your respective centers. Simultaneously, digital lessons also telecasting on YouTube. Watch digital lessons regularly and clarify your doubts while the interactive classes are going on at your respective centers. I think you know the components of a unit like learning outcomes, face sheet, readings, vocabulary, comprehension questions, grammar, creative expressions, assignments, and self-assessment. Okay, next. The digital lessons are segregated into two parts. The first part consists of readings, unseen passages, and vocabulary. Whereas the second part includes grammar and creative writings. So, watch the videos regularly and get clarified with your teachers. Now, let us move to the lesson. Now, let us see the digital lesson for Class 10, Unit 5, Theme Humanity, Topic Caring for Others. Before going to start our lesson, let us see the learning outcomes of this lesson. After learning this lesson, you will be able to know, read and understand the play, enrich vocabulary by identifying the meanings of the words from the play contextually. Answer the questions given under comprehension in writing. Comprehend the unseen passage and answer the questions in writing. Here, you observed a different word in learning outcomes. That is, read and understand the play. That means here the lesson, caring for others, is a kind of a play. Let us see what is a one-act play. A one-act play is a play that has only one act, as distinct from plays that occur over several acts. One-act plays may consist of one or more scenes. In recent years, the 10-minute play has emerged as a popular subgenre of the one-act play, especially in writing competitions. Here it shows one act play. That means as a small play, it has several acts. It gives the meaning. Let us see the elements of a one act play. Elements means what an actually a play consisted, what it contained. In a one act play, all elements that are mentioned are usually present. There is a setting, a plot structure, characters, conflict, theme, and the type of atmosphere present. In one act plays, there is only one setting and the plot or conflict of the story is rather simple. That means a one act play consists of all these things. That means a setting, a plot. Plot means the construction of the play, and the structure, characters and their dialogues, and the theme also be identified. Okay, now let us see the features of a one act play. Features means how a play is to be written. Let us see in detail. One act plays are the plays that are confined in one act only. It means the total story focuses on only one situation or the one event. Okay, and the second one, the scenes are maybe multiple. That means one act play may consist multiple scenes. Multiple means more than one scenes are possible. And the next one, the write-up of the plays are concise and written precisely. That means no extra information will be given. The writer focuses on only the story, and it will be written concise and precisely. The aim of the play is intended towards producing one effect. Yes, already I gave you the clarity. That means the play is totally intended only on one situation. That means focuses on only one situation, or we call the one effect. The scenes are dominated by a single situation. Already learned it. A single situation, and the scenes may be varied, may be multiple, and all the scenes are dominated by the single situation. And the characters are to be very limited. Very limited means actually a play must be consisted 2 to 7 characters. That means maybe in some plays they may be 2 to 3 or 4 or 5 maybe, but as maximum 7 characters must be. Okay, in this way that means the characters must be very limited. And if we see the last one, it has a beginning, a middle and an end, like the dramas. For example, you might have seen the dramas. That means the drama starts with, as usually, it in the middle of the play or the drama a problem may arise, and at the end it closes with a solution, like the story. That means most of the stories are to be converted into dramas or plays. I think it is very clear to you that what is a one act play and what are the elements of a one-act play and what are the features of a one-act play. Okay, now let us move. Who has written this play? Here is the information about the author. Victor Marie Hugo was born on 26th February 1802. He was a French poet, novelist, and dramatist of the Romantic movement. During a literary career that spanned more than 60 years, he wrote abundantly in an exceptional variety of genres. Genres means different kinds of writings. Okay, he wrote many genres. That means many different kinds of text were written, like lyrics, satires, epics, philosophical poems, epigrams, novels, history, critical essays, political speeches, funeral orations, diaries, letters to the public and letters to the private, dramas in verse and prose. See here how many different kinds of genres were written by Hugo. That means he gave many texts, many genres to the society. Almost all kinds of genres were written. Okay, and he died on 22nd May 1885 at the age of 83 in Paris. This is the information about the author who wrote Caring for Others. Actually, this text was originated as the Benevolent Bishop. Benevolent Bishop. Okay, now here our lesson starts here. Now observe the picture very carefully, and later we have questions. We call this picture as a face sheet for the unit 5. That means the face sheet indicates the initiation to the text. Initiation to the text. Observe the picture very carefully. Later we have questions to answer. Okay, I think you might have observed the picture very carefully. Let us see here are the questions. The first question is, what do you observe in the picture? So I earlierly asked you to observe the picture very carefully. Now, yes, what is your answer now? What do you observe in the picture? Okay, I think it is very clear. Yes, your expectations are right. A girl is providing something like food to a man. Yes, that's right. Okay, now let us move to the second question. Why is the girl providing food to a man? Here is the second question. What's the reason behind providing a food? Here, let us think more about. Yes, the man looks like a beggar. The man looks like a beggar. He needs something to eat. He is looking as a starved person. So, In the picture, the girl is providing food to a man, and it indicates she had more than that food. So the girl is providing food to a man. Yes, you are absolutely right here. Okay, now let us move to the third question. What made the girl provide food? Yes, more thought-provoking question it is. What made the girl provide food? Here is a little bit difficult, but try to answer. Think over, think about it. Okay, now let us see. When the girl saw the man, she took pity and sympathy on him because he was looking as a beggar. Okay, so she took the decision. That means he needs something to eat. He needs something to eat. So the girl decided to give or offer food to the man. Okay, what made means she took pity and sympathy on that beggar. So she provided food to that man. Okay, yes, that means it gave you the clarity about the picture. Am I right? Okay. Yes, now let us move to the reading, caring for others. Because I think I told you earlierly, it is a different kind of text, which is not similar to other texts. Okay, yeah, this is the text treated as the one act play. One act play. One act play means already I gave you the characteristics, that means the features and the elements and what is a one act play. I gave you the clarity in earlier. So in that way, it's a play. So it looks like a story and it was converted into a play. So let us identify the characters in a play. Okay, these are the four characters in a play. Okay, the characters are Jean Valjean, a convict; Bishop, a senior Christian cleric; Baptistine, a maid servant sister; a sergeant, a police officer. Okay, yes, if we find these are the four characters are in a play. That means let us see Jean Valjean, a convict. Yes, who is called a convict? What is a convict means? Let us see. Convict means a pronounced guilty. That means that person did something wrong. He is called as a convict. Okay? Now, and the second one you know it well, bishop. That means this kind of persons we may observe in churches especially. That means he belongs to Christianity. One more thing we may call head of the church, a senior Christian cleric. Okay. Now Baptistine, a maid servant. A maid servant means who was working in bishop's home. Okay, she may be called as the sister. Okay, and the fourth character is a sergeant. Sergeant means here is a police officer. Okay, now let us see. The text is divided into two scenes. Let us see the scene-wise summary and comprehension questions. Okay, the text was modified as a story, a simple story. That means I made you in simple manner. Okay, now let us see the scene-wise summary. In the text, you might have observed the characters' dialogues, but here I prepared it as a small story. Okay, let us see. A convict, Jean Valjean, entered the bishop's dining room and introduced him as Jean Valjean, a convict. That means here the text starts with Valjean's entering the bishop's dining room. Okay, he introduces him as a Jean Valjean, a convict. He had been 19 years in the galleys. That means he was in galleys for 19 years. Okay, what do you mean by galleys? Galleys means the kitchens in a ship or a plane are called galleys. That means the government arrested him and put him in the kitchens of a ship or a plane for 19 years. Okay, now he was set free for 4 days ago. He walked for miles. He didn't get food to eat. Yes, he set free and walked for miles, but he didn't get food to eat. He asked the bishop to provide food quickly because he was very hungry. So, after entering, immediately he introduced him as a Jean Valjean, a convict, and asked him to provide food quickly. Without asking anything, Bishop asked Sister Baptistine to provide food for him. Okay, here the bishop didn't ask anything, the Valjean. He simply asked the Sister Baptistine to provide food for him. After taking supper, Bishop said, "Friend, bed will be ready for you to take rest." See how kindly the bishop was. Okay? After taking supper, Bishop said to the Valjean, "Friend, your bed will be ready for you to take rest." The convict surprised with the bishop's words because early he reached many homes for food, but nobody provided him food. But they simply said, "Get out." But the bishop provided him the delicious food without asking anything. For that reason, the convict is surprised with the bishop's words. He called him friend and provided food for him. The bishop inquired the convict. Okay, after taking supper, before going to bed, he inquired. The convict, much more surprised, and provided his identity that he suffered a lot. He was given a number 24601 and lived in hell for 19 years. He said he was a convict. With a curiosity, the bishop inquired about his identity. Okay, here the convict Jean Valjean also surprised about the words and mesmerized his words. He gave his identity, and that means he said that he suffered a lot, and he was given the number 24601 and lived for 19 years in the galleys. He gave the clarity why did he go to galleys. The reason was that when he was with his sister, okay, and her seven children, they were very poor. They didn't get work to do, and they did. So Jean stole bread for the children. Jean stole bread for the children. For that reason, he was sent to the galleys for 19 years. He gave the clarity. He gave the reason why he went for the galleys. Okay. Yes, this is the reason he was sent to the galleys. In the galleys, they fed him little. In the galleys, they fed him very little. They changed his name and numbered him as 24601. And they took his soul and placed it as devil. That means they made him to forget his name. His name was numbered as 24601, and after a few years he forgot his name, and now he became the devil. Okay. Next, he said that once he was a man, but now he was a beast. That means he became very cruel. The bishop consoled him for hope and asked him for rest. Okay, after getting the reason why he sent to the galleys, the bishop consoled him. Man, let us hope so good. In this way, the bishop consoled him. Jean Valjean was so exhausted and fell asleep immediately because he walked for miles, besides hungry also. Okay, now Jean was so exhausted. Exhausted means tired. He was so tired and fell asleep immediately. At night, he woke up and remembered his past years. Due to his exhaustedness, he fell asleep. In the middle of the night, he woke up and remembered his past years. Suddenly, he heard the cathedral clock struck 2. Okay, when he was remembering the past days, he heard the cathedral clock struck 2. That means that indicates 2 o'clock in the night. He remembered the silverware on the table. Took them from the cupboard, crossed the room, jumped out of the window, ran across the garden and leaped over the wall. See here, what made him here? He remembered, that means he was given food in the silver plate or silverware we call, which were on the dining table. He observed everything, and his poverty, his hunger made him to the silverware from the cupboard, crossed the room, jumped out of the window, ran across the garden and leaped over the wall. Leaped over the wall means he jumped over the wall. Okay. Now, it is the first scene, the summary. Okay, now let us see the comprehension questions which are given at the end of the scene 1. Okay, the first question. Why didn't the convict eat for many days? I think you know the answer. Here it is. Very simple. The convict didn't eat for many days because nobody gave him food to eat but said get out. After setting free from the galleys, he didn't get any food to eat. He visited many houses, but all of them said get out. Okay, now the second question. How did the convict became a numbered man? How did the convict become a numbered man? I think you know it well. Let us see. In the galleys, they changed the convict's name for his guilty. That means they made him to forget his name. He was given a number. He was given a number and numbered him when he was placed in the galleys. How did it means? He spent 19 years in the galleys. Okay, he forgot his name. He simply remembered little bit his number and finally he got his name. Okay, now and the third question. What did the convict steal from the cupboard? What did the convict steal from the cupboard? I think you know it well. Am I right? Yes. The convict stole the silverware from the cupboard. Yes. The convict stole the silverware from the cupboard. Okay. Here are the 3 comprehensive questions and the answers. Now, let us move to the scene 2. In the similar manner, scene 2, the summary. Okay, let us see. Okay, the scene 1 ends with he took the silverware from the cupboard, crossed the room, and jumped over the wall. Okay, yes, there ends the scene 1. In scene 2, let us see what happened. On the next morning, Baptistine identified the silverware was missing and the man was not in the room. Yes, it is obviously. Early morning, Baptistine came to the home and observed that silverware was missing. And soon after observing the missing the silverware, she observed the man which she had seen last night. He was also not in the room, the bishop said, and she immediately went to the bishop and said, Sir, silverware was missing and the man was not in the room. Then bishop said, the silverware belonged to him. He simply said, the silverware belonged to him. Meanwhile, there was a knock from the door. While they were discussing about the situation, there was a knock from the door. The sergeant and the 4 policemen with a convict bound appeared. See here. Meanwhile, there was a knock. The sergeant and the four policemen with a convict bound appeared. They bound, that means they caught the convict and brought to the bishop. Then the bishop said, the sergeant said that, Sir, we caught the convict. Sir, we caught the convict. Then the bishop said, Oh, there you are, my friend. I gave you candlesticks besides the silverware? Why didn't you take along with them? See what the bishop said again. Oh, there you are, my friend. I gave you candlesticks beside the silverware. Why didn't you take along with them? The sergeant surprised about the claim as friend. Yes, the words expressed by the bishop were made the sergeant surprised, because in his words he claimed that convicts as bishop's friend. So the sergeant surprised. Not only the sergeant, the convict also surprised by the expression made by the bishop. Because earlier when he entered the room and uttered friend, and once again his expressions made him to surprise. Okay, next. The bishop insisted with the sergeant. I gave him, but he took only silverware. The sergeant left the convict to go and went out. See, the sergeant also felt surprise, and he left the convict to go, and all the policemen went out. Then there were bishop, Baptistine, and convict was there in the room. Then bishop said with the convict. Bishop said with the convict, before you go, take these candlesticks also. You may go in peace. If you want to come, anytime you can come. My doors never locked day or night. My brother, never forget that you have promised me to use the silverware to become an honest man. See how kind a person the bishop was. He said, before you go, take these candlesticks also. You may go in peace. If you want to come anytime, you can come. My doors never locked day or night. My brother, never forget that you have promised me to use the silverware to become an honest man. That means he took the promise from the convict. Okay, the bishop said in this way. The convict promised. Jean Valjean sold the silverware, accepted candlesticks, and became honest man at the end. See, that means the words expressed by the bishop made him an honest person. Okay, Jean Valjean sold the silverware, except candlesticks. That means he didn't sell candlesticks, and became an honest man. He kept the candlesticks in memory of bishop's words. Okay, in memory of bishop's words, he kept the candlesticks. Okay, it's the end of the play of second scene. Okay, now let us check the comprehension questions. Let us check the questions here again. The first question is, what kind of person was the bishop? I think you might get the answer. Am I right? Yes. The bishop was a kind-hearted and helping-natured person. Right, you are right. Let us see the second question. The bishop asked the convict a question. What was it? Once again, the bishop asked the convict a question. What was it? Yes, at the end, he asked a question. Let us see what he asked. The bishop asked the convict a question. What was it? Will you keep my promise? Yes. Will you keep my promise? This is the question asked by the bishop. Okay. Now let us see the third question. Did you find any change in convict's nature at the end? What was it? It's a great question. Third one. Did you find any change in the convict's nature at the end? What was it? Yes, you might guess the answer. Yes, the convict's nature was changed at the end. He became an honest man. The bishop's words made him an honest man. Is it so or not? Yes, it is absolutely right. Okay? Yeah, here are the comprehensive questions at the end of scene 2. Okay, now let us move for some more questions. Okay, overall questions. Let us see. The first one is that why did the sergeant capture the convict? Okay, guess the answer. I think you might get it. Okay, yes, this is the answer. The sergeant captured the convict because he stole the silverware from the bishop's home. It's a very simple answer. Okay, now let us move to the second question. What was the promise made by the convict? What was the promise made by the convict? I think your expectations are right. The convict made promise to Bishop that he would become an honest man. Yes. Okay. Now let us move to the third question. Okay. The third question is, why did the Jean Valjean hesitate to steal the silverware? Okay. And before stealing, just he hesitated for some time. Why did the Jean Valjean hesitate to steal the silverware? Jean Valjean hesitated for a moment because without hesitation the bishop offered delicious food and provided cozy bed to sleep to him. But his poverty made him to steal the silverware. Okay, why did he hesitate means these are the reasons. Without asking anything, he offered a delicious food and a cozy bed. Okay, cozy bed, comfortable bed. Okay, but his poverty made him to steal the silverware. Right. And the fourth question. What were the feelings of convict when he was called a friend? Bishop uttered 2 times a friend. Then what were the feelings of a convict? The bishop expressed the convict as friend. Then the convict was much surprised. Though he stole the silverware from the bishop's home, he expressed friend. Okay? Right. Let us see a few more questions. The fifth one. The sergeant becomes fuzzled. Why? The sergeant fuzzled at the bishop's expression friend to the convict because the convict told sergeant that he stole the silverware from the bishop's home, but the bishop treated him as friend. That's why the sergeant becomes fuzzled. Okay, next. Sixth one. What was the moral of the one act play? Okay, yeah, what's the moral? That means kind-heartedness towards the convicts makes them honest. Yes, obviously, kind-heartedness towards the convicts makes them honest. Okay, yeah, these are the comprehensive questions from the text. Let us see some meanings are given in the text. They asked you to write the meanings of the difficulty words. Okay, these are the meanings. Convict. as I told you earlier. Convict means a person serving a sentence in jail. Serving a sentence means he asked him to spend in a jail. Hound means dog. Galleys. Galleys means, as I told you, kitchens in a ship or planes. Okay. Shuddering. That means body shaking from the being upset. Body shaking from being upset. Stifling. Interfering with and stopping. Okay. Next, a few more meanings. Verge. Almost at the point of. Almost at the point of. Divorce. Divorce means eats or swallows. Downtrodden means sad. Sentenced. Sentence means to find a judgment of guilty in criminal case and the punishment that is imposed. That is imposed. Destitute means very poor. Okay. Yeah, these are the words which are given to you to write the meanings of these words, and these meanings are available at the end of the text. Please consult at the end of the text, just you will find the meanings. Okay, now let us move to the vocabulary part. Here are a few multiple choice questions are given here. I think you might have understood or comprehended the text well. Okay, see, each question has 4 choices. Choose the correct meaning for the underlined word and write the options A, B, C or D in the brackets. Okay, the first one, Jean Valjean pleaded with the police and said that he was not guilty. That means we write the meaning for the underlined word. The underlined word is pleaded. Okay, here we have 4 options: requested, fought, argued, asked. Okay, guess the correct answer. Guess it. It is argued. Pleaded means argued. Okay, next. Here the second one, he fed on filth for 19 years. Let us see the multiples. A, bread. B, dirty. C, food. D, fish. Let us find the meaning of filth. Okay. Filth means dirty. That means he didn't get food in the galleys. Okay. Next, third one. The bishop slept tranquilly. The bishop slept tranquilly. Let us find the meaning for the tranquilly. A, fast. B, quickly. C, peacefully. D, immediately. Guess the correct answer from the ABCD. Yes, you are right. Tranquilly means peacefully. Okay. Next. The fourth one. He stood terrified at this radiant figure. Radiant. The word underline. Let us find the meaning of the word radiant. A, frightening. B, shining. C, dim. Fourth, big. Okay, guess the answer. Yes, you are right. Radiant means shining. Okay. Yes, these are the multiples which are given in the text. Now, let us move for the one more comprehensive passage in the text. It is unseen passage. Unseen means you may not know. That means that is not given in the text. It is taken from somewhere else. Okay, the text was given here for your comprehension. Okay, now let me give you the clarity. I think you might know about the uh, person Mother Teresa. Do you know it? Do you know her? Okay, now let us see about the information about Mother Teresa. Okay, Mother Teresa was a humanitarian. She was born on August 26, 1910, in the town of Skopje, Yugoslavia. Now it is called Macedonia. Her parents were Albanians. Her full name was Agnes Gonsha Bojakshiu. Her full name was Agnes Gonsha Bojakshiu. She was called as Mother Teresa. Agnes was one of the three children. At the age of 12, she felt that she had a calling to help others. In 1928, at the age of 18, Agnes left her family to become a missionary in India. At the age of 18, she left her family to become a missionary. Okay, what do you mean by a missionary? Missionary means a person undertaking a mission, especially a religious mission. Okay, serving for the religion in this way. That is called the missionary. Okay, she joined the Sisters of Loreto. She was sent to Ireland to learn English because India was ruled by the British at that time. There, Agnes took her first vows as a nun in 1929 and changed her name to Sister Mary Teresa. She chose the name Teresa because her favorite saint was Saint Teresa of Lisieux, a patron saint of missionaries. Okay, next. Sister Teresa began her missionary work in Darjeeling, in India, where she taught wealthy children. Wealthy children means rich children. In 1931, she was sent to Kolkata to teach at St. Mary's High School. The school was located near the slums of Calcutta. She was touched by the poverty surrounding the beautiful school. She often went to the slums on Saturdays to help the poor and suffering people. Okay, during the Saturdays, she went out to serve the poor people. She started her journey of helping the poor. She spent many years lifting and carrying those who were dying or sick. She chose to serve the poorest of the poor and to live among and like them. Not only serving the poor, to live among them and like them. That was her motto. That was her aim. She respected the religions of the people and simply believed that everyone deserved to die in a loving and caring atmosphere. Okay. Next. In 1979, Mother Teresa received the Nobel Prize for her humanitarian work. She worked for the destitute in Kolkata and became a global icon of Christian charity. She was declared a saint by Pope Francis in 2016. She breathed her last on September 5th, 1997 after struggling with deteriorating health. Deteriorating health means weakening health. By weakening her health, she passed away. Okay, it is the information about Mother Teresa. Okay, now we have some questions on this passage. Okay, yes, we have initially the true or false. Okay, true means fact, false means not the fact. Let us see the first question. At the age of 12, Agnes means Mother Teresa, started working for the poor. Is it the right statement? Think over. Remember the words from the passage. Okay? What did she do at the age of 12? At the age of 12, she felt that she had a calling to help the others, not working for the poor. So the first statement is false. The first statement is false. Okay, now the second. Mother Teresa received the Nobel Prize for her work for the poor. She received a Nobel Prize. Is it right? Yes, your guess is right. It is true. Okay. Third, Agnes started working for the poor in Yugoslavia. Agnes started working for the poor in Yugoslavia. Remember the sentence from the passage. Okay. Is it true or false? Actually, Agnes means Mother Teresa was born in Yugoslavia, not working for the poor in Yugoslavia. She was born in Yugoslavia. So, it's also a false statement. Okay? Now, next, let us move. Here are multiple choice questions. Okay, children? Let us see. Each question has 4 choices. Choose the correct one and write the options A, B, C or D in the brackets. Okay? The first one. Mother Teresa respected dash. First one, religions, caste, creed. Okay, creed means caste, yeah. And the D, all. Okay. What's the answer here? Yes. Mother Teresa respected all. All means the answer is D. Okay? Yes. And the second one, Mother Teresa became a dash in 1929. 1929. A teacher. B, mother. C, nurse. D, sister. Okay. What did she become? Expect the answer. Yes. She became a nun. A nun means a woman belonging to a religious order in Christianity. She became a sister, a nun. That the answer is D. Okay. Next. Let us move to question number 3. She worked for the destitute in Kolkata. Identify the parts of speech of the underlined word. Oh, it is a different question to you. That means let us identify the word which was underlined. It is destitute. So let us find the parts of speech of that word destitute. Here the options are noun, verb, adjective or an adverb. Okay, now identify the parts of speech. Yes, it is an adjective, destitute. Okay, next, fourth one. At first, Mother Teresa was attracted by. The options are a saint, a pattern, a saint patron, none. That means the answer is, you are right, a saint patron, not the saint, not the patron, a saint patron. She was attracted by a saint patron and modified her name as Mother Teresa. Okay, children? Yeah. Next, we have some comprehension questions. Okay, now the first question is, what did Mother Teresa do for the people? Okay, now remember the answer from the above passage. What did Mother Teresa do for the people? Yes, Mother Teresa went to the slums to help the poor and suffering people who were suffering at the slums. She treated them, she taught them and helped them, and she helped the suffering people in slums. Okay, next. What was her intention about the poorest of the poor? Okay, Mother Teresa wanted to serve the poorest of the poor and to live among them and like them. She believed that everyone deserved to die in a loving and caring atmosphere. Okay, Mother Teresa wanted to serve the poorest of the poor. Okay, she loved to work for them and to live among them and like them to live. Okay, she believed that everyone deserved to die in loving and caring atmosphere. Okay, yes. The third one, where did Mother Teresa work most of her life? Okay, yeah, where did she work? Yes, Mother Teresa worked most of her life in Calcutta. Okay, children? Yeah, these are the comprehensive questions for the unseen passage. Okay? Here, the presenter is Dr. K. Srinivas Reddy, teacher of English, textbook writer, SRG, SCRT Telangana, working at ZPHS Cherlapalli, Mandal Nadikuda, District Warangal, Rural Telangana State.